bullish time. Have no fear. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'd like to welcome everybody to XRP After Dark, exclusive rabbit hole news. Guys, tonight I got a hell of a guest on the show. A lot of people may know him. I've had on the show a few times. The legend himself, Danny Loth, is here. I think I'm going to have to set this stream up a little bit better where I can see us better, Danny. I'm going to have to do a little bit better setup. Danny Loth, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, my brother.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Let's talk. Let me tweet this and then reset the stream up because I can see here on the screen that it doesn't look that good. It's not global. Reset.
We got a crypto queen here.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
No way. Crypto Queen's in the house.
She's in the house.
Uh-oh. Party time.
She's a star.
Yeah, that's for sure. Bigger star than I thought. All right. We tweeted that right there. Let me pull this up real quick because I think I can adjust this better. Let me see. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Let me see. I might have to pull this up here like this. Let me see how that looks. Well, that's kind of huge. That's kind of huge. Hold up. Okay, hold on. I like that view right there. And then if I pull this right here, hold on. I apologize, guys. When you're live, you're live. I might be able to pull that right there and just open that up all the way. And let's see how that looks. Hey, I like the way that looks right there. Let me see. I think that looks much, much better. Yep. There we go. There we go. I'd like to welcome everybody to XRP After Dark, guys. I got a very special guest in the house tonight, the one and only Danny Loth. Now, if you guys might not recognize, a few of Danny's tweets have went viral lately, basically referencing the gas prices going under $1, how it affects the economy, how it affects crypto. So I wanted to talk about that. Plus, I also want to talk about, people say the market has been bearish, and we know some of Danny shared some of his portfolio with us. I want to see what he does with his portfolio at a time of a bearish market. So we'll talk about that also. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's here really quick. My brother Michael Cutler, Coach Joe, Magnificento, Game Mode Call, Eric B, Anton Cameron, Crypto Queen is here. The Queen is here. Good evening, CKJ and Danny. What a great show we're here for. Thank you so much, Queen. Call Eric B, XRP Free Meat, John A, Legend, Crypto Kev, welcome back. Rose, Call Eric B. So many names. One Rough Rican, Tyrone Copeland, Mr. and Mrs. Mouse, Boas Brodus, One Rough Rican, Carl Eric B. Thank you guys so. Whoa, Crypto Queen with the super chat. Holy moly! Thank you so much, Crypto Queen. I'm here and I'm so excited for this show. My two favorite legends. She must be talking about Danny, because Danny's my favorite legend. Danny's the man. Danny's the man. J Kills, Chris XRP Ford, 858, Tina Page, Art, the Queen, Art XRP, and Snakebite. James DeMarco, welcome to the green stream. Matter of fact, the market is green right now, ain't it, Danny? Is the market green?
I do believe it is.
Let me take one quick look real quick. I'm kind of curious myself because I think the market is pumping a little bit. Do you think, why do you think the market, I know we was going to start with the Michael Nieves thing because the big news is Michael Nieves just supposedly left Ripple. But since the market's green, may I ask you, Danny, why do you think, or has it seemed like the market has been performing better than the S&P or the New York Stock Exchange, the crypto market, or do you? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, actually, the markets now, the crypto market is a little different now compared to what it was when I first got into crypto. It used to be the crypto markets moved at their own march.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got that
But
right.
but then after BAC came in,
Okay.
then it started to seem like that the crypto markets followed the stock exchange. And
Okay.
this is what futures and derivatives will do. Futures and derivatives to the markets are like the yin and yang.
Okay.
Okay. Um, in an ideal situation, stock exchanges are like glorified bookies. Okay. What really happens is the losers on the market are actually paying the winners.
Okay.
And then the market itself, the exchange, is making their fees at these people going in or out.
Okay.
Okay. So the reason there hasn't been a big jump in the market is because these are derivatives and futures. They're not actual custody. Now, however, there was a lot of uh, speculation buying by the New York Stock Exchange and Bitcoin back, 10, 12 months before BAC even opened. Back when I bought Bitcoin, it was trading somewhere between, 3,800 to 4,200. And I bought a lot of Bitcoin back then. Well, they were buying a lot of that over the counter.
Okay.
So if they're settling in Bitcoin, what they're doing is they're settling the Bitcoin that they had bought and stockpiled. It's not new acquisitions. I don't really think you're going to see, with the world economy the way it is, this halving on Bitcoin. I don't think you're going to see that much of a difference after the halving. I really don't.
So you don't think we're going to see a pump on the halving, or you think the pumps are already priced in?
I'm telling you, a lot of people think when they hear half,
Uh
they're
huh.
thinking, oh, it's going to double. Well, it ain't going to happen.
But what about what you just said a second ago when you said you think the markets are it's reflecting green, but you're saying what Wall Street's selling? Why they're being
Well, no,
manipulated to buy other
well,
people's while they're
well, look,
dumping?
look at the stock exchange today. It wasn't a bloodbath. It
It was or it wasn't?
was not.
Okay. And the crypto market right now is on fire. I mean, I'm just looked at it.
That's
It's
why you're seeing some green. But when the other day, when you had the oil future prices go negative,
okay.
then you had the crypto market severely drop because institutional investors or FIs that had investment in Bitcoin and digital assets, they had margin calls to address on the market. So they had to gain liquidity from somewhere. So they cash out the assets. That's why you've seen a big down day that
Okay.
same day in crypto, where XRP was off 5%, Bitcoin was off 7%. There were big drops because that was FIs and institutions that had to grab liquidity from somewhere to cover margin calls. I seen, and I don't know who it is, but it had to have been an institution that it traded as that day. That screenshot was when it was negative 13.98.
Yeah, I actually just
It
pulled the
it
tweet up. I
it
pulled.
got as low as negative 42 that day,
Damn.
and then it started coming back up. But at negative 38, you had a single seller on future contracts that sold 250,000 contracts on those futures, and no one could pick them up because if you deal with futures, you can't sell contracts within the last 24 hours. So, that place lost their investors, or if it was a bank, they got scared. They took a $9.5 million tap right there on the spot that they had to ink a check to the New York Stock Exchange for.
Wow. Well, first thing I want to tell you guys is Danny has a lot of soul in him. Somebody in the comments said they thought Danny, you know, had some soul in him. I said, yeah, Danny does got soul in him. Yeah, that's a whole nother joke. But yeah, Danny, I got the tweet pulled up right here. Oil has never been negative in the history of the world. Oil and energy are the main drivers of the world economy. This may cause an epidemic. So is that what you're saying? Is that what happened yesterday when the prices?
This could cause an world economic, not epidemic, economic collapse.
I know I didn't sound like using that word. It's such a strong word. But it looks like we're making a comeback today, right? The markets are back.
They're back, but those futures are done. So I feel sorry for the ones that are holding the next 30-day futures.
What's going to happen?
Well, they better not wait till within the last 48 hours before they decide to sell, because this is where it's dangerous when you deal with futures and options. When those options expire, if you're holding them, if they're below what you bought them at, you're toast.
So
you lose everything.
So you're going to get dumped on.
You lose everything. Plus, you might have margin calls along the way, making your position solvent as those are going negative.
Now, where do they pick up them future contracts from? Do they pick up some from the New York Stock Exchange, or you can pick up futures from what, Binance now also, or?
No, futures are through the New York Stock Exchange, and actually these are not trades that you can do like at these 495 trades or whatever. These are ones you're actually dealing with brokers.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Wow. Really quick, Danny, I'd like to welcome everybody to XRP After Dark. I noticed we got a lot more people that just tuned in. Guys, I got Danny Loth on the show tonight. It's an honor to have you back on the show, Danny. We actually got so much to talk about. Like I said, a few of Danny's tweets have went viral talking about the oil prices. Basically, oil has never went negative in the history of the world of oil. I mean, what's your thoughts of like the banks closing down and just Trump going on TV and thanking the banks, and now we're having non-fintech companies being granted financial, uh, you know, uh, access to financial tools that non-fintech companies didn't have before. I mean, do you think something bigger is going on? Like, what's going on with this epidemic in the markets and the economy, and what's your thoughts on that in its totality?
Well, the one thing that's the most distressing is that the Fed now has created swap baskets for overseas. That's basically, we're going to print and provide them all the paper they need. Worthless or not, we're just going to print on these swaps, these overseas swaps. See, when we get back to this oil situation, you got gold, you got oil and stuff. Now, you take like gold. Originally when, I'm even going to back up from this thought. If anybody has not, at this point, I don't care whether you've been in crypto a day or been in crypto for 5 years.
Okay.
If you have not watched a series on YouTube, there's 10 episodes. I highly recommend it.
What's that?
It's called The History of Money. And it basically lays out how it was created, how it's been debased over a period of time, so on and so forth. But you come back to the US dollar. Okay, everybody thought, well, okay, Nixon took it off the gold standard. Well, okay, they started taking the dollar off gold in 1932. Then Truman did it again. I believe it was in 54. Then in 1973, the reason why Nixon had to take the U.S. dollar completely off of gold,
okay, I'm curious,
was because back then OPEC was putting a squeeze on the West,
okay,
on oil. We weren't generating our own energy. We kept buying it by the shipload. Okay. And they kept jacking the prices. Well, finally, Nixon's right-hand man, Henry Kissinger, he puts Kissinger and a few on a plane very quietly,
okay,
and sends them to Saudi Arabia.
Uh-oh.
Saudi Arabia heads up OPEC.
Okay.
What that was done there a backdoor deal was done. Nixon wanted to create protections for the US dollar. So what he did, he worked out a deal with the king of Saudi Arabia that said, hey, we'll provide protection for your country from invasion, but you have to require everyone that buys oil through OPEC has to use the US dollar.
So are you saying that's the main reason that we possibly came off the gold standard is because of the OPEC oil deal?
Because now you needed massive more printings, and we didn't have the gold to back that up.
Okay,
so it had to be removed, because now every time that hypothetically that Canada wanted to buy oil from OPEC, they needed US dollars for that. Russia couldn't use rubles, they had to use US dollars. China, it was the world deal, they had to use US dollars.
So with the way the economy is printing the US dollar, we had no choice to come off the gold standard because we had to fire that printer up.
Exactly.
So really quick, what's your thoughts today? I hear on the news that they're talking about firing that printer up 24/7, 365, not even stopping. Because they're saying that basically in the name of funding the economy, but at the same time, I mean, that's almost what decentralization and inflation is kind of against. I mean, what's your thoughts on the Treasury saying, hey, we're just going to fire this money printer up?
It's inflationary. It's very inflationary. Let me tell you why. Because if you took the dollar, and if you took and looked at the U.S.'s assets, and then now we're up north of $24.5 trillion deficit, and you divide that by there with the printings of the U.S. dollars that are out there, that one U.S. dollar is only worth 5 cents.
Wow.
It's only worth 5 cents. So when a guy thinks that he makes $100,000 a year, he truly makes about $20,000 a year in gold.
I think you're right on the money with that. That's for sure. Because everything is inflating except for the pay itself. That's for sure.
So now, if you begin printing more than what you have to back up, that's when you become insolvent. And who's the master of bankruptcies? Donald Trump.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to make you mad.
Donald Trump, it ain't going to make me mad, because he made a comment and it all feeds in. Trump has done a very good job of standing up his promises. And one of the promises that he made to the American people was, in 8 years, I'll have the U.S. debt free. Well, what's the way to do it?
Fire up the money printer?
Bust the dollar, make the U.S., according to the Act of 1871, which is a corporation, de facto bankrupt.
Whoa.
Therefore, the U.S. dollar is worth nothing.
Okay.
Now we take 220,000 tons of gold sitting in Fort Knox.
Okay.
And now we can back a U.S. digital currency on that gold sitting in Fort Knox.
So you're saying that you think they're going to lean towards back the gold standard, or are we too far deep to go back?
What's going to happen is each country is going to have their own digital currency.
Okay. Break it down, Danny.
The swap point, I believe, is going to be through the new ESDR.
Okay.
They're basically going to set values. Now, there's been rumors that the value of the gold to make it the so-called level playing field worldwide.
Okay.
Zulu time, or GMT, is off of Greenwich, England. Okay. So they're going to take daily gold spot prices from England daily, and that spot price, it will be set to the XRP.
That'd be amazing.
Otherwise, you're going to get into a situation where, it's like the BlackRock ad about the guy that can't carry the gold around. It's telling you to buy digital currencies.
Yeah, of course.
Because if the U.S. hypothetically paid China $5 million for shipments, they're not going to go to Fort Knox and physically lift $5 million worth of gold and pay for that. And then China pays another whatever. So there's going to be the bridge currency of XRP that is going to cross these barriers, and you're going to find that your gold standards are going to be on your walled gardens. If you own gold, that's what it's worth. So if you have, say, 220 tons, it's worth, $8 trillion sitting in.
Okay.
And you print $8 trillion $1 bills.
Okay.
Each one is worth $1. That's how you set the exchange rate based on gold.
I should have renamed this video right here. XRP walled gardens, gold walled gardens. I like the way you're talking, Danny.
Now, on the current debt clock, they're showing gold price per ounce north of $20,000.
Okay.
What that is each ounce of gold sitting in Fort Knox would have to be worth that money to pay off the debt.
Is that why you think they would bring Judy Shelton in? You think she has anything to do with what's going on with this at all? Because Judy Shelton was what, big time gold advocate, Trump administration, or
they are placing people. It's like a web that's being built into places that are familiar with other parts of the puzzle.
Okay.
And are behind basically in gold. Example, we just had an individual leave Ripple.
Yeah. Michael Nieves. I think I got that pulled up. That's kind of hard to believe. What's your theory on that right there? It says it says Ripple's 1 billion head of XRP markets quietly leaves job. With no formal announcements, former CME executive Michael Nieves has quietly left his role head of XRP markets. What's your thoughts on that right there, Danny?
Well, you just seen that Trump is basically taking control of the Fed. So wouldn't it be?
He is, or he has?
He has. He is taking control of the Fed.
How the heck? That's the biggest power move in history, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. And basically, Mnuchin's in charge of it now.
Yeah, Mnuchin and Trump. I'm mind blowing. How is it Mnuchin became the most powerful man in the world? Trump became the most over the Fed, and of course, it all ties back to executive order. So there's got to be.
You got Jay Powell now calling Mnuchin daddy.
Yeah, I seen the actual interview. I think Steve Mnuchin said, I'm on the phone with Jay Powell every day. But, for everybody that's just tuned in, Jay Powell is on the Faster Payments Task Force at one time with Ryan Zagon from Ripple. And, of course, Mnuchin is, all over executive order and Ripple. And, just the connections are ridiculous. Do you think with all the connections we put together with the executive order, Steve Mnuchin, non-bank fintech Intuit, Treasury, do you think it's going to come down to they're going to have to announce this executive order and what they're working on, or what the hell is going on, Danny?
I'm sorry, you broke up there. Say that again.
Basically, so for example, we got Steve Mnuchin, who we know, and Donald Trump, who single-handedly took over the Fed. But we know Steve Mnuchin and the Trump administration is behind the executive order. Why does it seem like that, they're not mentioning what their plan is? It's like they're always beating around the bush of this, but we kind of all know.
Well, okay, they don't mention a lot of stuff, on these executive orders. Example, okay, there wasn't a lot of mention of 13772.
Okay.
We found out about it because we had an interest, and you have people digging into holes.
Exactly.
To find this stuff. Okay. It's like, we have an interest in a digital dollar. It was people like us were the ones that dug into the proposal on the original bailout. They wanted the money delivered direct to the people by digital currency. So everybody got excited about it, and then that went to the wayside. Well, Congress is still pushing for that. Originally I thought China's digital currency was supposed to go active on April the 25th. It's in beta now,
Okay.
but it was supposed to go active on April the 25th. Because
Couple days.
they're gearing up for, they've got the Winter Olympics in 2022.
Okay. So they're gearing up for that.
Japan has the upcoming Summer Olympics. And that's why SBI was saying, hey, everybody's going to be able to pay for stuff with XRP come the Summer Olympics.
Exactly.
In Japan.
That's what I saw everybody pushing for. That's what I was looking forward to.
Because at the time that everybody was talking this, they didn't know anything about this bat disease. And then along comes the bat disease.
You got that right. Don't even mention that name on the show. Actually, don't say. I forgot to tell you that, Danny. Do not mention the name of it.
That's why I said what I said.
You got to say epidemic, because actually there's an algorithm that'll pick up on that word. And yeah, so epidemic. Just remember that word, epidemic. Really quick, Danny, I hate to switch subjects, but I see a lot of people asking the same question over and over. They want to know what is going on with Danny's portfolio. They want to know what you're interested in. What do you got hidden in there? Where's your hidden gems? Do you still hold on to HOT? Do you still hold on to some of these other tokens that you were talking about previous show? That they're dying to know, Danny. What is Danny's portfolio looking like today? If you don't mind me asking, my brother.
Oh, not a problem. I think most know what I'm into.
Okay.
You'd mentioned HOT. I bought HOT a while back, and I bought 3.5 million of them, but those are just strictly just a flyer, just take a shot at it. It was a very minimal amount of money.
Okay.
At the time when I bought them, it was only a few $1,000.
Okay.
I just figured, well, I'll just, like a penny stock, just take a flyer on it and sit on it on a 2-year hold, and at the end of 2 years, I'll just cash her for what it's worth.
But I think you just said the most important thing. And that's what people don't understand is, like you said the same thing last time. When people understand, if it's a 2-year hold, if you purchase something, you're going to put that thing away, and that's going to be a 2-year hold. Most people's going to be checking it every day. Oh no, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. If you have faith in a project, of course you're going to put it in a 2-year hold and see what happens, right?
It's like your BTR tokens, which that's a sore subject. But
oh God, here we go. And
then you take like other tokens that I have a stronger interest in. It's like back in January. Okay. It's kind of like, the theory of the more you hold of something, when it moves, you tend to make more money.
Okay.
Well, I was holding 50 Bitcoin.
Okay.
Well, back on the 11th of January, I sold 30 Bitcoin.
Okay.
And they were 8,300 at the time, January the 11th. You can look at it. Okay. And then I turned around and I bought 1,200 Bitcoin Cash.
I remember that.
Okay. Well, at the time, Bitcoin Cash was at 218.
I remember successfully. Listen to this story, guys. This is amazing.
And Bitcoin was at 8,300.
Okay.
Well, Bitcoin hasn't even sniffed at 8,300 since then.
You got that right.
But I'm still on the positive on the Bitcoin Cash, because as of right now, you take Bitcoin Cash, they're trading at $233.
Yep, 232 right now. Green stream. Welcome everybody to the green stream. I'd like to welcome everybody to XRP After Dark, guys. We do the show every single night at 7 p.m. EST. I got the legend himself, Danny Loth. He's telling us about an amazing deal he did with the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash deal. But my fault, Danny. Go ahead.
Okay, so what prompted me to do this is I noticed, because I had been.
They shot up a lot higher than 232 that day, though. I remember you texted me specifically.
Oh, I got news for you. At one point, they got to $479.
There's the deal I'm talking about right there.
They got to $479.
And this is the truth, guys. I'm sorry, Danny. Guys, you won't believe this, because me and Danny talk on the phone all the time. So anyway, Danny messaged me and was like, I dumped 50 Bitcoins right now, and I'm jumping on Bitcoin Cash. And it was like 210, 208 or something like that. And then I'm telling you guys, Bitcoin Cash shot from 200 to what, 400 or something like that.
$479.
I was like, no way. And Danny told me the whole scenario before it happened, and I was like, you got to be joking me. So, and yeah, that was a hell of a move right there, Danny. So,
So what caused me to do that? I'm sitting there and I'd been watching, and it seemed like your forks, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, was reacting quicker
okay.
and faster than Bitcoin itself. So I couldn't take it upon myself to sell all 50, but I did sell 30.
Okay.
And I took those funds and I bought the Bitcoin Cash. Now, if you look, Bitcoin got as high as 20 grand. It didn't close at 20 grand, but it got as high as 20 grand during the trading. And if you look at Bitcoin Cash, it got to 4,300. Well, now you don't have to take it too sharp of a pencil to figure out 30 Bitcoins at 19,800, which is the highest that they actually closed, and what that totals, and then take 1,200 Bitcoin Cashes at 4,300.
Yeah.
I'll take the Bitcoin Cashes. I did hold 20 just because of this happening, but I don't know.
I know I'm a little. I'm not too sure. So you believe the halving's already in on the price, or you think we're gonna have a pump? I know I just said ask a second ago, but I'm just curious.
I think the reaction to the halving is going to be hampered because of the epidemic.
Good, very good possibility. Yeah, XRP.
People don't have the money with the unemployment, the uncertainty. That's going to hamper that situation.
Yeah, I actually got something pulled up right here. Something about can't even give away gasoline drops below $1. I think it was something about the gasoline dropping in the miners. Negative oil prices could hurt Bitcoin miners who use flared gas. So, I mean, I kind of pulled that up a little bit, but I'm not really sure how that's going to play out anyway. So, but that's not important right now. I do notice one of your tweets right here. It says XRP community is okay, it's now being reported in the U.S. Some states are already reporting gas below $1. The lowest is 88 cents per gallon. Energy is the blood life of the world, and it's struggling. Be prepared. So, are you saying basically that what? Be prepared because gas is dropping and it's going to flip to? I kind of like what Marcus J was saying in here earlier that
No.
basically.
What that's talking about is if you take the U.S. economy,
Okay.
8% of the jobs that feed the U.S. economy have to do with oil and energy.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So when you have a severe collapse to the oil value, it increases your unemployment. Also, you might as well shut down offshore drilling completely because it's not even cost effective anytime the cost of oil is below $48 a barrel.
Okay.
Because if it's below $48, you lose money on offshore exploration.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So
Wow.
now at risk, you have all your offshore drilling. You take North Atlantic drilling, which is probably one of the largest in the world,
Okay.
and they're in trouble. They are stone cold in trouble.
We don't need no trouble. I got two quick questions for you, Danny. Bullish Broder says the BCH halving was dull, so we're waiting for a BTC halving. Did the BCH halving just pass or something? Did what Bitcoin Cash have a halving, or is it, or do the Bitcoin? Because I don't really follow Bitcoin Cash that much, other than Roger Ver connection. But did a Bitcoin Cash halving just pass? Because I know the Bitcoin halving is in what, 2 weeks or something. When is the Bitcoin halving?
Well, it's in May. It's like May the 3rd, I think, is what they figure that the block will hit.
Okay, okay. So, and
The
okay.
halvings are reacted by a block numbers.
So Bullish Broder
Okay.
said we just had the BCH halving. Okay, so
Yeah. I didn't buy it because of halving purposes. I bought it just strictly on spec.
okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Now I got another quick question right here, Danny. My brother, Maxine Waters says, ask Danny if he sees an XRP bull run this year. What's your thoughts on that, Danny? I mean, far as we see the utility through the corridors with Bitso, and they're ramping up, and they're coming live. They got three. I think they just included two more with Australia, maybe Philippines, Mexico. What do you think about the prices and utility and MoneyGram, and what's your thoughts on Bull Run and all that totality?
Well,
Solved it all.
the bull run for XRP is going to require the higher ups to flip the switch.
Okay.
And I don't think you're going to see that switch get flipped anytime between now and November the 3rd.
Uh-oh. Wrong question.
Unless, unless,
I'm just messing with you.
unless this epidemic would crop up again and send us into another shutdown after we reopen, because they're going to try to keep printing and nurse this Ponzi scheme along as long as they can to get Trump past November the 3rd.
Okay.
Once after November the 3rd happens, then he becomes what's considered to be a lame duck president. He doesn't have to worry about fighting for re-election next time go or whatever. So that's where he can shake the boat.
Is that when election is in November?
November the 3rd. And that's when he could really rock the boat.
Oh, the presidential election?
Yeah, I don't think.
You see how much I follow politics.
I don't think, that, I follow this QAnon a little bit, but I don't know how much of that is just conspiracy theory or what. But supposedly this QAnon's got all these sealed indictments and all this stuff that they're going to round up all these bad actors, the Rothschilds and all this from over the years that I don't, who knows? They all say that's going to happen after the re-election.
I don't know what's going to, that election stuff. Danny, I got a good question for you though. Because it seems like the family really wants to know what Danny likes. Shout out to XRP Well 858. He says, I like hot CSC, which is casino coin.
I'm out on the casino coin, in my opinion.
And NXPX. Can we get your thoughts on casino coin and what would that be? NXPS. I believe that's Pundi X token. Do you know anything about those tokens, Danny? What's your thoughts on those?
Here again, this is just me, folks. Okay. I'm not your financial advisor. You have to do your own research and follow your own breadcrumbs. But
okay.
Yes, CSC token to me, I think is a pump and dump. Okay. If you buy some, you better buy it on the low end and don't get greedy. Okay. Otherwise, you might end up holding your hat in your hand. Okay. And as far as Pundi,
okay,
Bill Gates kind of leads that ship.
Bill Gates leads the Pundi ship?
Well, pretty much he guides that deal.
I could tie Bill Gates to Pundi?
And I got news for you.
Uh-huh.
I'd follow Bill Gates as far as I'd follow Justin Sun, and that wouldn't be even across the hall.
I think I'll take your advice on that, Danny. You're a smart man, that's for sure. That is for sure. Whoa!
I think you're up and comers.
Okay.
That in CKJ's talked about them, but you need to really take heed to it.
Okay.
Is the XTZ?
Ooh. Danny, can you say that one more time, please, Danny?
XTZ, and it's not for the reason of staking. Even just on spec.
Okay.
Even on spec, it has a very low supply.
My favorite.
Okay. And XTZ is slated out to, when they bring real estate and tokenize it, guess what? Tezos is set up for that.
Yeah, so far it's been up, it's up 57% on the month. Just on the year alone, it's up 60%. And at an all-time high, it's I'm not really sure, but it is up on the month. I apologize, guys. I'll go back real quick.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I see a $10 or north Tizo price before year end quicker than I see a $5 XRP price.
Whoa. Whoa. I'm not here to hurt no feelings, people. We're just trying to get the best. And this is why I love having Danny come on the show, because I love seeing, a person that's been in the markets, experience, wisdom, knowledge. He's been here, done that, and I love getting the opinions of definitely my brother Danny Loth. And I love your first token you've chose. Really, really quick, I want to give a huge shout out to my brother, the one and only, the legend, Notorious XRP. Everybody knows Notorious. He needs no introduction. Much love to you, Notorious. Subscribe to Notorious's YouTube channel.
And I tell you what, if you haven't watched Notorious's videos, this guy, they're the best.
Matter of
I'm
fact,
telling you, it's like watching a movie. I love them, every one of them. I don't miss a one.
Matter of fact, you're the one that was telling me. Matter of fact, me and Notorious go way back, but you were actually the one that called me about Notorious. If you don't mind me, we won't tell the whole story. But let's just say me and Danny called me, and he's like, "You see Notorious's videos? He does amazing work." I'm like, "Yeah, Danny, I know. Me and Notorious go way, way back. So you got a big fan right here, Notorious. His name's Danny Loft, that's for sure."
Cyflix used to do good ones, but they don't do it anymore.
I think I know what you're talking about. The last one, I think the last one was about me. Now let me stop. I'm just joking. So much good talent going to waste. What we're gonna say. Believe it or not, I thought that was a really funny video. I really enjoyed it. Other people thought I should have been mad. I was like, "That's funny as hell." Whole nother story.
If you can't laugh at yourself, you're sure not entitled to laugh at anyone else.
I was honored. They put a lot of work into that video to make a parody about me. I was honored. Danny, so you said Tezos. What's next on the list, my brother? I see.
Okay, I'll tell you where I'm sitting.
Okay.
But I'm not going to update my amounts to you, but I'm just going to tell you.
Okay.
I got Bitcoin, which I told you what I went down to on that. Everybody knows I have substantial holdings in XRP.
Okay.
I own some ETH. Not as much as I used to. Believe it or not, at one time I had a ton of ETH that I bought at $88 a piece.
Whoa.
Okay. Bitcoin Cash.
Okay.
ADA.
Now, what about ADA, Danny? I seen you make a tweet about ADA the other day. You convinced me to buy ADA, Danny. Now, what's going on with this ADA thing?
I'm getting concerned a little bit because old Hodgkins and crew, all they do is delay and rename shit.
Okay.
And if he gets flaky like Justin Sun, I'll pull the plug.
I don't think I would. I don't think I would ever mention Charles Hockinson and Justin Sun's name in the same sentence. But I do understand what you mean on the steady the project launch delay. I mean, maybe he's like what's the one guy from the movie Aviator who's such a specialist it takes him forever to get the project out. What the hell was that movie? Somebody help me out. The Aviator. He was a genius. He flew faster. He made hospital beds. He was just and he just did it all. Somebody's gonna come up with that. But Danny, they're not stopping with the Stellar Lumens. What's your thought on Stellar Lumens? Do you have XLM or?
I do have some XLM.
Okay.
I don't hold anywhere near the amount of lumens that I hold in XRP because I own probably more than anyone should in XRP. I just keep thinking, well, I'm looking for a dollar amount and I keep buying XRP, it's going to cut my, dollar that XRP has to get to hit my target.
Okay.
See, I'm not, there's me and my wife. I have one daughter left in the house. Okay. My other kids are long grown and gone.
Okay.
I'm not trying to, have me and Cheryl live on, yachts and travel the world and all this stuff. I'm doing this more for generational wealth.
Okay.
For my 4 kids, my 4 grandkids, that's what I'm in this about.
That's a good plan, that's for sure. And that's one thing I tell people too. Like for people that got kids, I mean, oh my God, if you could put 1,000, just 1,000 XRP in a ledger away for them for because they're not going to need that for 18 years, 16 years. Just imagine that 1,000 XRP, 2,000, 5,000, whatever. Uh, so is that what you did? Or you set up some kind of plan for like your kids or grandkids or some kind of
Well,
I,
everybody,
I don't mean to be too
everybody,
nosy, but I
you know, everybody does things differently. And let me tell you how I do it.
okay,
Okay. I have several bank boxes at different banks.
okay.
Okay. At my exchanges, I have my withdrawal addresses whitelisted to nanos that are in bank boxes.
Uh-oh, I don't want Rose to come get you. I don't want Rose to come get you now.
Now, I have one here,
Okay.
but it holds a very small amount
All right.
on here. It's what I use for trading. But what I do is when I'm done, say like, okay, the day that I sent you that screenshot where I was in Bybit on future trading, and in
Okay.
there, I was running $100,000 amount,
Mm.
and in 4 hours I made $93,000 profit on that 100 grand with leverage.
Mm.
Well, when I cleared the gates, I returned the 100 grand back to trade with, but I immediately shipped that 93 into the nano in the bank box.
Ah.
So
Wow.
my heavy weighter on nanos and bank boxes. Now I'm kind of weird because I store a ledger that has crypto on it in one bank box. Then I have my seeds stamped into metal in another bank box. And then I have all my login and key, basically other information in a journal in another bank box. So they're all scattered apart from each other. So, and if something happened to me and my wife could go, she knows the progression, to where stuff's at, these are my logins and different places and the nano and so on and so forth, how to do everything.
I'm gonna add something to that real quick, Danny, just in case, because I think we did kind of cover this story a little bit
Because you don't
before.
have to have your nano open to send stuff to.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm realizing also, guys, just a heads up real quick, just in case the epidemic and all I hear is I'm hearing once you're in quarantine, you're no longer allowed to sign a legal document because you would have to have a notary there, and a notary wouldn't be allowed to come in the room. So just in case, guys, you might want to set up a plan. You never know. You never know. I just that because matter of fact, you know what? That's another thing the state also did. They just passed a law unclaimed crypto law. Now, this is why. Now it all makes sense. Basically, if you don't claim your crypto within a year, the government basically can access your crypto and take it over. Uh, so guys, yeah, definitely have some plans ahead of time.
That is correct and incorrect. That is if it's you lay your stuff on exchanges. Once you leave an exchange and go to a hot or a cold wallet,
Okay. Nobody
the
been able to access it.
government can't access. They can't access it at all.
Yeah,
If
you're right
somebody
there.
dies and they don't leave provisions for someone else, that shit's just lost. It's never to be recovered.
Do you think we'll ever be able to recover it though?
Not if it's lost.
But I mean, like, just say for example, I'm just kind of curious. I know it's a dumb question, guys. I ask crazy questions. Like, say for example, if you set up a wallet and you lose your passphrase, as of right now in today's society, yes, it's forever gone. I know that, but there's a major problem with people that don't keep their keys. Behind the scenes, is there possibly in the future will people be able to access that crypto if they have any information? I mean, like I remember, for example, at Crypto Eddie on the show, she lost 2 Bitcoins. I've had wallets that I've lost keys to. You know how much crypto is probably really lost out there in the world? So it's so going forever.
Well, that's why they say that of the 21 million bitcoins, there's probably only about 16.7 million truly out there.
I would
There's
believe
been
it.
that many between the fall of Mount Glocks and what's been lost with people losing their keys. They figure there's only about access to 16.7 million of that 21 million.
And if I had the rough estimate, I would even say less than that. I'll be honest with you guys. I had a Coinbase wallet story. When you download the separate Coinbase wallet, uh, basically, I did have crypto in a separate Coinbase wallet. But the thing is, you have to set up a email name first. So you would set up your email name. If you would have your email name and your password, like couldn't you kind of prove that it's yours? Anyway, I messaged the guy from the Coinbase wallet and I told him the story what happened, and I don't know. I'm waiting for him to message me back, but I don't know. I just think in the future there will be other options. But as of right now, of course, do not lose your keys because your crypto is going forever. Of course.
Right. And you know me, I am very opposed to leaving any assets on any digital exchanges.
That was what I was about to ask you next, Danny,
None of
because
them.
what about Coinbase? It's a regulated U.S. exchange, FDIC insured.
Okay. Now, to be FDI assured, now you need to read your terms of agreement for that account at Coinbase, because you're going to find all accounts, including bank accounts, after 2008, after the U.S. adopted the Cyprus rule. After they adopted the Cyprus rule with backdoor legislation that nobody's supposedly supposed to know about, but it's out there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's
That
more.
they can go in there and they can give you a haircut. But they can't cut your hair if you don't have shit laying on exchanges.
I'm with you on that.
I'm telling you that these bullshit power piggies and let's pay staking of this chump change on these exchanges. Okay, let that be the bait to get people to bring in a bunch of their shit. So A, they use your assets for their liquidity, and B, if the government ever wants to give anybody a haircut, guess what? You're going to get one.
I think Crypto Queen's onto something right here, though. I think I'm with Crypto Queen on this right here. Because, say for example, and I'm not talking about hardware wallets, I'm talking about a downloaded app. Like, for example, if you download the Coinbase app, which is a separate app from the Coinbase exchange. Now, when you set that up, they make you set up an email name because they're trying to set up like a contact thing where, okay, I can just say at Bullzilla to at Crypto Queen, and I can send people. And a lot of people know I was sending a lot of people Matic. I was sending everybody Matic. But Coinbase would have to have some kind of backdoor access to that app, even if you don't have the passphrase, or else how would they know the?
They can do the same thing to you, whether it's a Coinbase app or Coinbase itself. It is all Coinbase, U.S. regulated and insured.
Okay.
So it don't make a difference whether it's on their app or on their exchange or in their bathroom. If it's on Coinbase,
okay,
you can get a haircut.
Yeah, you got that right. I'm with you on that big time. But I'm also thinking behind the scenes, they say, okay, hold on. If you don't access this crypto within 24 months, we'll access it for them. But anyway, that's a whole other show. So anyway, yes,
Hey,
guys, what Danny says, at the end of the day, the best way to keep your crypto safe is a ledger. I agree 1,000%. Link in the description for my buddy Spanish Fly's ledger link.
Okay, now one thing I want to make sure that you understand, because some people have been in crypto for a little bit, some have been in it for a long time, but I want to talk about this XRP supply issue.
Okay, talk about it.
Okay, on this supply, XRP was created to handle up to 10,000 per XRP.
Okay.
Now, DMAC, what am I wrong about?
Oh no. Everybody has a different opinion, Danny. Don't get distracted. I think you were saying something.
Okay, but those of us that's been in crypto for a while know about airdrops.
There's no such thing about being wrong. It's everybody has their own opinion here. So there's no wrong or right answers here on XRP.
I was just curious what the point was I was wrong about, because hey, if I made a mistake, point it out to me, because I don't want to spread FUD.
I think it might.
I'm not a fudster.
I think he might have been talking about, you're wrong about Tezos being that top token. And I told him already Tezos was going to be the number one, well, the number two token behind XRP. So I think he was talking about that. He says if you have thousands of dollars, yes.
Well, now DMAC, you're
Okay.
correct because you would have to be up top of 250,000.
Okay.
That is the FDIC insurance amount. But if you have assets on Coinbase and they're worth north of 250,000, they can sure slice you down to that 250,000.
So what he's saying? So what is he saying? That no crypto is insured? Is that what he was saying? Because actually on Coinbase, USDC is insured, and I mean that's crypto. It's a digital dollar. It's USDC is insured on Coinbase, right?
Well, assets in general are insured at Coinbase.
Well, I think yeah, Coinbase is insured regardless, right? No matter what. I think that it's insured on USDC, which is their Coinbase digital dollar, which is a cryptocurrency, basically. Uh, and so they do insure that. So it's insured up to 250,000. Keep it
That
where
is
it's.
correct.
Yep. Hey.
But back to the supply issue. Okay,
Okay. XRP supply issue.
based on circulating supply, and then you deduct the number of XRP that's out there in the possession of us hodlers.
Okay.
I think there's around about 8 billion still unaccounted for. So you're not going to see any type of price action or increase until it gets north of 8 billion until the first of the month, which then there would be 9 billion because of escrow release. And then if they send back a half of that billion, then you got 8.5 billion, or so on and so forth. Okay. But my point to this 10,000, it was even said by Ripple themselves. XRP was built to handle up to $10,000 per token.
Okay.
So if XRP truly rules the world, you might see this happen.
What?
The price of XRP would have to be greater than $10,000.
Woo!
They cannot take it past $10,000. So what they do at that point, the mad scientist David Schwartz takes and creates a new token to run. And then what they do is, like when they change the Binance coin and network, is basically we're going to put out 200 billion this time, but you're not going to get affected on your value, because when you send in what you've got, you're going to be compensated for, it might be more of this other replacement token, and that's how they provide more supply.
Okay.
But at the actual price per, I don't ever see getting beyond 10,000. And to get to $10,000 XRP, I think you're talking 2028 to 2030.
No, here's the thing though. The half the supply of XRP is already out. Now, do you think the monthly escrow release plays a part in the price of today? I mean, do you think what the monthly?
I think what's going to surprise you, what a lot of people aren't thinking about.
Did something happen?
Well, you went kind of quiet, but I think what's going to happen that a lot of people don't realize, and Ripple's sure not bringing a lot of people's attention to it.
What's that?
But okay, XRP's blockchain is not proof of work; it's proof of stake or consensus. So I'll do whatever it takes to turn that down.
I didn't know what the hell that was. I was like, "Whoa, that must be Lancelot out there." I'm just messing with you.
What I lost my train of thought with that, whatever that mess was in the living room.
We were talking about how I'd like to welcome everybody to XRP After Dark. My name is
welcome
Big
everybody.
Bullzilla. This is Danny, the damn legend, Loth, aka the whale from way back. And this is the Bullish family, guys. We do the show every single night at 7 p.m. EST. And guess what, guys? We're going to turn it up here on content. I actually got another special guest coming on the show, and you guys are not going to want to miss this. It's going to be very interesting. And then Sunday, I also got something else planned also. So you guys might want to smash some thumbs up, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. You do not want to miss what we're going to be doing right here on XRP After Dark over the next few nights and this week coming up. But you were talking about the supply of 50 billion being left and going to 10,000.
Okay. Then the consensus, we're consensus, okay?
Okay.
And on our blockchain, the consensus blockchain,
Okay.
it can be that escrow can be changed by the validators or nodes, an 80% consensus between those validators and nodes for a change.
Okay.
If they flip the switch, they're going to need that 49 billion or whatever it is in there quick.
That's what I'm thinking also.
So what they do is they'll have a little vote amongst their consensus and validators
Okay.
to increase the rapid deployment from that escrow to the ESDR, to the US government, to
Okay.
governments around the world, that these are already spoken for. I think the majority of everything in escrow has long been spoken for.
Perfect. That's what I really believe that too. There's no way we're
Mhm.
gonna go at 1 billion a month for the next 20. There's no way. Not with the corridors eating up that utility the way it is right now through Mexico and Philippines.
So,
So
that's
so you think most
they're
of it's
gonna
pre-allocated?
I think it is.
To who?
And
You have any ideas?
well, I think, do you think the IMF's been rubbing elbows with Brad Garlinghouse not to get anything out of the program? Do you think they're on the White House logs and they're not going to get anything out of it? Come on. These things are pre-allocated. We are in communications with 50 governments around the world.
Yeah, big time.
And do you think that the OPEC countries aren't going to go down kicking and screaming when you yank the petrodollar out from underneath of them? So they have to appease them. So I guarantee you, when they came online and Saudi's been heavily praising XRP, there was allocation for them, etc. Believe me, it's all spoken for. That's why Ripple, when they get that 1 billion out,
Okay.
they'll return like 800,000 or 800 million of it. The majority of it goes back to escrow,
Exactly.
and they only have a little bit of amount to work with because that stuff's spoken for.
I think I really believe that too, and I mean I think you echo the same thing with the supply of being creative 100 billion because it's going to be a global currency. This is globalization at its finest. We're going to need plenty of liquidity, right? So I think you're right on the money with that. That's for sure. Uh, so they're also asking, what do you think about Link? Do you have any Link, or have you had a chance to look at Link at all?
I do. Yeah, I have, but I honestly I have no chain link.
No chain Link at all.
None.
Have you had a chance to take a look at it all, or you just haven't had a chance to take a look at
I
it?
did. I haven't put many resources into it.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
So what do you say? Your main bullishy on XRP, and what is this about XTZ? Somehow I don't remember you being bullish on that before.
Well, I have a right to investigate stuff on my own.
Did I talk you into it? Did I talk you into it, Danny?
No, you can't talk me into anything after BTR.
I know, actually, guys, I'm going to take some fault for that. I mean, come on, the BTR hype was big in the XRP community for a minute, right? They're coming out with 50. We're pairing every token to XRP. Remember their line? We're pairing every token to XRP pair. I'm like, whoa. I mean,
TPXRP, I still keep Hollow Chain. I still have it.
Oh, Hollow Chain?
And VeChain.
And VeChain. Okay, so you're still bullish on VeChain. Did Danny sells Holo? No, he said he still has the Holo. Somebody said you were amazing a couple seconds ago, Danny. They were like, Danny's amazing. I can't. Oh, it was Camo Ammo. Camo Ammo, brother from Texas, said Danny is a legend. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you didn't see all them. You didn't see all them comments that this guy's a nut.
No, I seen a whole bunch of comments of like the bullets blowing kisses to you and flowers being thrown out there, and just they're happy you're here, Danny.
Well, I'm happy to be here because I'll tell you what, at my age, any day that you wake up, got your heartbeat, stand upright, or sucking air, it's a good day.
You're damn right. That's a very beautiful day. My brother Crypto Life says, what about Kava and Cosmos? Have you had a chance to look at Kava or Cosmos?
I have looked at Kava. And the thing about it is if you like Kava, you have to love Cosmos or Atom.
Okay.
Because they kind of work hand in hand. It's kind of like, okay, we thought at one point I used to own Omsnego. Omsnego was going to be the one that was going to help increase the speed of Ether on their blockchain. It was a venture that Vitalik was invested in and was consulting on, and then it never went anywhere. So I got out of Omsnego, and I have, you have to hope when you invest in them when they're cheap that it goes, and if it don't, you just have to move on to the next one.
That's how I like them, when they're like really, really cheap, when they're still under a penny. Like VeChain, I think, is an amazing deal, like you said. I think Holo, I haven't looked into Holo, but I think Holo is under a penny, right?
Right.
Can you
it's like dealing with penny stocks.
Yeah.
And when I deal with penny stocks on NASDAQ, I'll buy a bunch of penny stocks and say, like, if I have 5 companies, quite honestly, I don't care if 4 of them go busted. I only need one.
Exactly.
I only need one to come through.
Matter of fact, I think I gave your theory the other night on the Binance family chain. There was like 12 of them that came out on Binance Exchange. And I actually said, out of these 15 tokens that launched on Binance, I said, I'm going to research all of them. And I said, I think I said we at least need 5 of them are going to hit. But like you said, really, we only need one. Because they're all under a penny. This is not financial advice, guys. We're just documenting our journey here. So I think you're ready.
Yeah, I'm not telling you to buy anything.
Danny, I hate to ask you this again, Danny, but they wanted to know if you could talk a little bit more about XLM. XLM did burn half of their supply, right?
That's okay. I never owned XLM.
Okay.
Until they burned half the supply.
Now what?
Then I'm thinking, oh, they burned half their supply. Okay. They are a partner with IBM's.
Okay.
And IBM's no chump. And I'm like, you know what? I got to take a flyer on these. Now, I didn't buy a ton, but I bought 100,000 of them.
Oh, Danny, come on, dude. He said I didn't buy a lot, just 100,000.
Well, at the time, it was like $3,800. It wasn't no big amount of money.
Woo, goodness gracious. Holy moly. Now we can see the difference. I can only imagine, like, Grayscale brought in 250 million in Q4, 500 million in Q1. I can only imagine some of these wallets these guys are sitting on. But it does look like XLM is starting to gain momentum. Now, are you saying that once they burn half the supply, is that what piques your interest more?
That is correct. Because you're cutting your supply.
Okay.
Because I love XRP, but I am not naive enough to think XRP is going to be all. You're going to have other cryptocurrencies, that are going to be very active and do things. And XRP might handle cross-border corridors in the majority of them, but you might end up finding that XLM is running corridors that XRP does not. I think there's plenty of room in the sandbox where everybody can play.
That's what I said too with globalization. And I agree with XRP Pete too. You know what he says, Danny? He says Danny needs his own show. And that's what I've been trying to tell Danny for a while. This is actually Danny's avatar for his show right here. It's called let me see if here it is right here. Danny Loth, Learning Crypto, Global Reset, right there, 2020, Professor Danny Loth. So Danny has been working his way around to starting his channel, but he's a very busy man. He's a very, very busy man. So what is the channel?
I just looked at something as an example. You have over 5,300 different cryptocurrencies and digital assets.
That's insane.
Okay. 95% of those cryptos are stone cold trash.
You got that.
They don't. There's no utility to them, nor will there ever be any utility to them. They don't solve any real world problems. It's just, it's like you take on NASDAQ. They got thousands of penny stocks, but you know what? A lot of them every day when you turn the computer on are gone. So that's why you have to be very careful what you put your money into.
What's your thoughts about Casino Coin?
I think it's a pump and dump.
You think Casino Coin's a pump and dump?
I truly think CSC is a pump and dump. I used to listen to DM Logic, but when DM got off the good asset and started promoting that asset, that's when we parted company.
Oh, for real? Why is it that you think, why would you think, if you don't mind me asking, you think Casino Coin be a pump and dump? I mean, do you think they tried to ride off of the Ripple name, or what was their plan?
No, CSC, they get a bunch of people in a hype, and, you got these people in there, and they'll bring in a bunch of newbies, and they'll buy a bunch of that stuff after they've created the hype, knowing that the shit ain't worth shit, and then they'll sell it, and the poor guys, other ones are left holding the bag.
Damn. So that's your thoughts on Casino Coin?
It's just like a pump and dump on a penny stock.
Well, basically, guys, I think a lot of people always ask me about Casino Coin, but I've never talked about Casino Coin just because, me personally, I want to see all boats float, but Casino Coin, I said, come on now, Casino Coin. And then,
well, I promise you, when you have 5,300 plus digital currencies, I promise you 95% of them are going to go away. They're trash.
These aren't my opinion, guys. I'm just asking Danny what his thoughts are on Casino Coin. Don't be mad at me if you own Casino Coin, guys. I'm just asking Danny, that's for sure.
I see CMAR 1447 saying something about Casino Coin or Doge. Believe it or not, Doge is kind of it's kind of a funny little critter. It was created as a joke. But you know what? It's been around longer than I've been in crypto. And I got into crypto in 2016.
They're saying go ahead,
thank you. Believe it or not, I bought some Dogecoin one time and I made some money with it.
Oh, for real?
See, let you guys in a little secret. When I first got into crypto, and I'm a newbie, like there's no tomorrow. Okay, I was a newbie. Okay. So, I try to consider myself not anybody's fool, but I'm prone to make a mistake just like everybody else. Okay. So, I had a couple I put some money into and I lost some money and I started to get a little frustrated or whatever. And then what I started doing is this. I would take like Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, your top 10 cryptos.
Okay.
And I would go to pairings. And if I say like today, I owned a bunch of Ether.
Okay.
And I would look at pairings on the other ones. And if Ether was positive against the other, then I would sell it and pick up the other. And then I would wait, and I'd watch the other and I'd watch the pairings against the other ones.
Okay.
And then once that one become positive, then I would move off of it into that other one. But you know what? I accumulated a lot of money doing that shit.
Yeah. Pretty much when crypto first started, you could probably do different things like that easily because there was like extreme volatility within the market. And now I feel bad talking. It's not that I talk bad about Casino Coin. Believe it or not, I hope Casino Coin does well. I know a lot of people that own Casino Coin and people that I'm actually friends with. So I didn't want to really ever bash Casino Coin because I want to see the coin do good. I don't want to see nobody lose money. It's just some things just don't add up to me. And so there was one more coin I wanted to ask you real quick. What was the other one?
Well, hey, Jeff, just so you know, at one time I owned a bunch of Digibyte. Okay, and I sold it and I made money on it. I didn't lose money, but I never went back and bought it. But I didn't make the kind of money that like now in the last 7 days, it's up like 73%. I think it is. in the last 7 days.
Wow. And that's why I might have faith in Casino Coin, because some of the people that I really respect in the community who's amazing research, like for example, my brother Patel, he says he owns Casino Coin. And we know Patel's a really smart guy, you know. There must have been something to compel him. So, you
I
know.
love Patel, but you know what? He owns that Justin Sun product too.
Yeah, the Tron token. Yeah, the Tron token. Good guy.
TRX, I'm out.
There's one more token they were just talking about. I gotta ask you about it. Which one was it? Which one was it a second ago? Okay. There's a token that's going all around, and everybody's talking about it right now. And I gotta ask you. I'm not sure if you looked into it or not. It's called Solo token, Sologenic token. Have you heard of that token at all?
I have, and I have not looked into it.
Okay, you haven't looked into it. Let's leave it at we haven't looked into it, because I don't want to upset nobody out there. Because that token has gained a lot of momentum on Twitter. And I don't know. Me personally, guys, don't get me wrong. I never looked into it. I don't want to upset nobody. Um, you know, I just want to see what your opinion was on it, Danny, if you looked into it. I have no opinion. Why? What is your thoughts on Tron, says Nick?
I have no faith in Tron.
Okay, so no faith in Tron.
And let me explain why. You know, Tron originally was supposed to be like the leader in the gaming industry.
Oh, Viking's here. What up, Viking? My fault. Go ahead.
And this Justin Sun, when he pulled off this, you know, I own Tron. That's how I got a bunch of this freaking airdrop, this BitTorrent stuff.
Okay.
But, you know, I owned it, and then he pulled that, oh, the offices got raided by the police, and then I'm being held hostage in China, and he's in San Francisco, and just that flake. You know, if you got a CEO in charge of a project that's that big of a flake, I'm out.
Yeah, that's just too much going on with that guy. The market's really pumping right now. Actually, Stellar right now is pumping 10% almost. Wow, the market is really, really pumping right now.
And Spanish Fly sure is fly, and I don't know if you heard, but she was asking about XTZ, I believe, and
Okay.
and we went over that, but
You said Spanish Fly, who sure is fly. Shout out to the flyest moderator out there, Spanish Fly, the longest moderator on this channel, I believe. Huge shot and Chuck Real. Shout out to Spanish Fly. What was Spanish Fly talking about? XTZ or ZRX?
oh, was it ZRX? I thought it was XZT.
I think Spanish Fly. Spanish Fly just says she saw. Oh, ask Danny about ZRX. Have you looked into ZRX at all?
No.
Okay, so we haven't looked into ZRX. And then I think Neeg Up is asking about ADA real quick, because I think he might have just got here. For everybody just tuned in, guys, this is XRP After Dark. We got a special guest on the show, Danny the Legend himself. Maybe we should have like a reoccurring just kind of show, Danny, maybe bi-weekly, once a month or something. I think I want to work something out with Danny, have on the show. Start your day with Danny and CKJ. I think that'll be interesting. But anyway, we'll talk about that.
Now you always have to do this to make sure I haven't been in the garage, Joe.
Oh, you come out the garage, you're gonna be a different guy.
I got news for you. You don't know what you might get if I just come out of the garage.
Uh-oh. So all the multiple personalities of Danny. Whoa, our brother D-Mac that just said how much he loves you, Danny, just dropped a $10 bomb on me. D-Mac. Thank you, my brother, for the $10 bomb, dude. You're a legend. And D-Mac's been here for a long, long time, too, Dan. Thank you so much, D-Mac. I really appreciate that, bro. Big, big time. And really quick, Danny, I'm sorry. I want to give a huge shout out to the Bullish family. Shout out to Crypto Queen for being here. Chuck Real, all my moderators. You guys are amazing. Bullish family. If you guys don't know, and I hate to be rude, but Crypto Queen dropped a new video. Crypto Queen dropped the video. Link in the description for Crypto Queen's video.
Oh, it's on. It's on her Twitter?
Yep. Crypto Queen new video is on her Twitter, and Danny Loth was like, "You gotta see this video. This is an amazing
I absolutely got to go see it."
Yeah, you gotta see that video. So shout out to the Queen herself. That's for sure.
I think she got the nicest Bullish T-shirt on the rack.
Oh yeah, the Bullish family shirt. Oh yes, right. She got the Bullish family shirt from the store. and there was Dan Carney, of course, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, really quick too. Is if you don't follow Digital Asset Daily, Digital Asset Daily, he's a big time XRP fan, but he's also an XLM fan. So within the next few days, we're going to be having Digital Asset Daily on the show, and you're not going to want to miss this show because I think he has some amazing research. So I just want to give a shout out to that real quick. That's for sure. And my brother Viking, you're the man. So my fault, Danny. I apologize. Just the Bullish family, just like you, Danny. You've been such a big supporter for this channel for years, and I can't thank you guys enough. Like seriously. Speak of the devil, XRP Viking with a super chat. Danny, how about Zcash and XMR? And thank you for the super chat, Viking. You care to comment,
Well,
Danny?
I think both those are good projects. I don't know any, and let me tell you why. U.S. residents need to be careful with dealing with privacy coins. Because privacy coins, you might have this Jay Clayton come out and declare these securities. Then there's issues. One thing I don't like is issues. So that's why I'm familiar with both of them, Zcash and XMR. They're both privacy
coins. Pickle. Come here.
So
come here. He's a good dog. Come
here. That's kind of my opinion on it, Viking.
Come here. Pickle. My apologies, guys. When you're live, you're live. Yep. Okay.
But do we lose CKJ?
Are we still here? Are we here right? Am I still live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies, Pickle. Danny Pickle says hi. He loves you.
Hello, right. Pickles.
So what was you saying? Something about stable coins or something like that?
Yeah, both those that Viking mentioned, Zcash and XMR, they're both good projects. But the problem is they're privacy coins.
Okay.
And right now, with how the SEC is, I'm hesitant to play in any privacy coins.
Okay.
The odds are pretty good. They're going to be declared security. There's going to be additional restrictions placed on them because, quite honestly, the U.S. government and any other government doesn't like this privacy bullshit of them not knowing who's got what and where it's going. And it all goes back to the days of Silk Road.
Wow. Now, wasn't Charles Hawkins from ADA was working on some kind of privacy feature or something like that? That might have been what held him up.
Yeah, well, all I know is all we get is delays and renaming stuff.
CKJ Crypto says they were deemed money laundering coins, and I think you're right about that. I think XMR got delisted from. That's the one thing is if a token is delisted, like I stay away from that token. Like if a token is delisted, you might as well say goodbye to that token because if it's not going to be supported by Coinbase or Binance US or the main crypto community, then it's going to be like blackmailed, right?
Blacklisted, yeah.
Yeah, blacklisted. It's a blacklisted token. Just like I hate to list this token. I hate to announce it, but I mean they delisted Bitcoin SV from Binance and Coinbase and a bunch of exchanges. What's your thought on Bitcoin SV? I'm just kind of curious.
When I did what I did on January the 11th with the Bitcoin changing to Bitcoin Cash,
okay,
I looked at whether to do it through Bitcoin Cash or to do it through SV.
Okay.
I went with Cash because it's been around the longest. It was the first fork.
Okay.
And it doesn't involve Craig Wright.
I know Craig Wright. That whole story right there. That's just DGB is jumping right now from 0.006 to 0.0097 in 2 days. And all you guys were telling me about DGB a couple days ago. I wish I would have jumped on that. Spanish Fly, our favorite moderator, Danny says, I'm over ADA at this point, and it's all Danny's fault. Uh-oh. Danny, you're in trouble. No, I'm just joking. She says, I'm over 88 at this point, but I did stake a little bit. I have. Okay, so Spanish says she does have a little bit of ADA. Huge shout out to my brother Viking with the super chat. Thank you so much, my brother Viking. I guess we will have to just use, I don't know if I can repeat that, bro. No faith in government whatsoever anymore, but I didn't have much to begin with. What?
Well, your concern with them right now, Viking, isn't, use or not use of a VPN. If the SEC or the U.S. government comes out and says, "Hey, screw this deal," tomorrow, you're not going to have a place to cash them out. So to you, if you're a U.S. resident, you're not going to be able to sell them.
Wow. And that's my only concern with
What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to KYC up with an exchange that will take U.S. residents and hopefully is going to bend the rules, which most of them will not.
Nah, them days are over.
And then you got to switch that asset into a different asset and then send it in to cash it out. But yeah, I mean, you're just playing Russian roulette there. I just, I got other things to gamble my money on other than that.
Yeah, is that? Oh, it said XLM's on fire too. Yeah, that's just like another token that just went live, and it's you can't get it in USA, you can't get it in Canada, you can't get it nowhere, and it's live, and they're selling it, and I'm like, well, what the hell's going on here? But I don't know. I think the days of the Wild Wild West are coming to an end, and that's why me personally, I really just started pushing Coinbase and Binance USA, just regulated exchanges because regulation is here. It said
I would think everyone would want crypto to embrace regulation.
yeah.
Because if you truly want crypto to go mainstream,
Damn, XLM is pumping.
you need that embrace.
Yeah.
I understand Nakamoto's original white paper was geared at, screw the bank, screw the man, screw the governments and all this type of stuff. I mean, wake up. You're always going to have banks. You're always going to have governments. Okay. So right now you got to decide if we're the first movers in crypto, generally the players that play with the house end up winning.
You got that right. I think the market is pumping hard. Looks like
of course,
Stellar just went to 10%. What'd you say?
Of course, because you're streaming, you always have the green screens.
It really seems that way. Every time we go live, the market starts pumping hard as hell. Stellar just hit 10% right there, and I haven't seen Stellar pumping 10% in a while. XRP right now, 2.51, 19 cent. This is kind of interesting. Tezos, 233. And Tezos was like almost under $2 earlier. Damn. Chainlink is 367. I'm waiting to see my newest staking and bacon token take off, and that is, come on now, ALGL. We'll talk about that in the future. XRP Viking with the super chat. You're a legend, dude. I completely agree with Danny. You're right. I'm just fed up. Nah, there's no guys. It's one thing, Danny. Like what Danny's been saying. I think we're really in the last mile, guys. With everything going on with the governments and I mean, what's your thoughts, Danny? I mean, people are starting to get frustrated and tired of waiting. I mean, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. I think we've pretty much gone through the majority of the pain.
Yeah.
A lot of infrastructure has been built in 2018, 2019. The last bull run in 2017 happened pure spec. I mean, you take like XRP, it hit $3.80.
Yeah, 800 billion.
And you know what?
What?
It didn't have anywhere near the amount of partners. It didn't have anywhere near the amount of partners. XRapid wasn't even live. XRapid didn't go live until the following October. At Swell, they flipped the switch. Then I mean, there's been so much improvement to the crypto space, and you have to believe us being the first ones here, we are going to win. You don't see all this smart money spending millions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Building out this infrastructure to the new financial system being the digital asset space. they don't just throw that money out the window. So we're the winners. We've won the race.
Damn right.
It's just a matter of how long is it going to be before we physically cross the finish line.
Q2.
But the future can be read right now. We are the winners. If
Big
you're
time.
here right now and you're holding digital assets at the prices that they're at, you have won.
Damn right. Pickle. And Danny, to add on to that, guys, and let me get out of here because it's like 9 o'clock. I don't want to talk people to death forever. But to add on to that, what Danny is saying, guys, and this has been a recurring theme the last 2 days. Q4 19, Grayscale brought $250 million in. Q1 in 2020, they doubled it. $500 million in institutional money is coming in. Just like Danny said, there's so much more exposure to digital assets now. Coinbase, ODL's Live, MoneyGram, Walmart. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous how much crypto has changed from 3 years ago to today. I'm telling you guys, buckle up big time.
And then, think of this. How could you not think that XRP is the chosen one?
How could you not?
Because you take some entity that paid $200 million. $200 million. Okay. Pardon my French. That's serious fuck you money. Okay. $200 million for 2% of Ripple. To give Ripple a $10 billion, not million, but $billion valuation. 94% of the stocks traded on NASDAQ don't even approach $10 billion.
Good God. You know what that means, everybody? Welcome to the big leagues. Guys, your old life is over as you know it, guys. We're rubbing elbows now with the likes of Danny Lofts. With the
always remember,
crypto
follow the smart money.
Vikings.
Okay. If in investing, there's only a few rules you have to follow.
Okay.
To be successful. Follow the money. Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Well.
Okay, and never buy the green candle, buy the red candle.
Complete opposite of what I do.
When you see a red candle on the board, that's like a for sale sign in front of you. Hey, there's a sale going on. Okay, when you see that green candle, that means you done missed the sale.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing, guys. All jokes aside, I've learned that the hard way myself the first year of trading. If you're on Binance and you see something pumping 20%, and most likely it's Tron. Tron is the most famous one for this. Tron will be pumping 20% and something else will be red. Just say, okay, I'm going to jump on that and try to get some gains on that. And the next thing you know, as soon as you jump in, guess what? They're dumping. It's not really pumping. So you got to be so careful with that, guys. So
now,
buy the dip, right? Not the green, the red, like Spanish Fly is saying.
I'm just, I have no proof here. This is just purely my gut.
What's that?
But for a while there, not on Binance US, back on the old Binance.
Yeah, the old Binance.
I think old Jason Sun and CZ. Now I love CZ. I think they were doing a little pumping and dumping with the old Tron there for a while.
Matter of fact, that's probably why I think we just uncovered a breadcrumb if you think about it. Because remember, Justin Sun and CZ were really close for a while. Tron always did maintain its price between 9, 10 cent, 5 cent. And then pretty much, look, right around the time Binance USA launched, what happened to Tron? Tron went to what, 2 pennies to 1 penny, and then Justin Sun partnered up with the Asian mafia connection or whatever, and then they bought Feloniacs because they knew the gig was up on this side. Well, we uncover it all here. Huge shout out to my brother XRP Viking. XRP Viking, my brother, you did not have to do that, dude. I appreciate everything you're doing so much. You being here is enough, Viking. Seriously, bro. But thank you so much. I'm not tired. I'm not tired of waiting. I'm sick of the government and the epidemic games. Crypto Millionaires Club for life. the original OGs, and thanks for coming on today, Danny. Miss talking to everyone. Just been very busy, Danny. I mean, Viking, I missed you big time too, bro. And Viking, we're in the middle of starting a brand new bullish Telegram. I want to start a new one from scratch, so I'm gonna need your help, Viking. New Telegram group from scratch, and I'll have the link for everybody when Viking has it ready for us. So we're working on that behind the scenes too. So Danny, is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here? Is there still plans in the future for your show, or
you know, as of right now, I've kind of got that honestly a little bit on the back burner. I've got, believe it or not, I've built up quite a few here locally that are now into digital assets, and they bring their laptops and come to my office.
Okay.
So I kind of stay preoccupied with that. It's kind of got me busy.
I understand that, but what you still can get you on the show, right?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to be on your show with you every now and then.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. Danny, one thing I can say, Danny, is you're like one of the realest people I ever met. Open, smart, intelligent guy, and you've supported this channel so much over the last. I think ever since I did that, my focus messed up now. Now my camera won't focus. I shouldn't have did that. But I can't thank you enough, Danny. You've been a huge supporter on this channel for like years now. Thank you so much. And we got a super chat from our buddy Crypto Queen. Crypto Queen is here. Where's she at? Crypto Queen making history right here. Where's it at?
Hey, CKJ?
Yeah.
Hey, before we get out of here, hey, everybody, do me a favor. We're going to have a little exercise here.
Okay.
On your dashboard here, there's a button that says subscribe.
Okay.
If it's not gray, saying subscribed, if it's red and it says subscribe, please push on that button.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much.
Now, when you're done with that, over there left of it, just above it on your dashboard,
okay,
you're going to see some thumbs up.
Okay.
Okay. I need you to push those thumbs up for me and not be an idiot and put the thumbs down like some have done. Okay. Then we have one last thing I need you to do for me.
Okay.
I want everybody in here. See that bell next to the subscribed button?
Okay.
Even if you're subscribed, I want you to unsubscribe. And then at the count of 3, I want everyone together to hit that bell all together.
Okay. I'm loving the way that sounds.
It'll play beautiful music, but it'll refresh to make sure you get notifications.
Exactly.
So undo the bell.
Okay.
And I'm going to count to 3, and when we hit 3 all together, this XRP community is going to make beautiful music, and we're going to ring that bell together. Damn. Is everybody ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
1.
We are.
2.
We are ready.
3. Hit that bell. Let's make that music for CKJ.
Well, we're definitely going to hit that music. Guys, I cannot thank you. Guys, make sure y'all do reset that the notification bell, because this channel has been 3 years, so maybe we do need to refresh that. Guys, thank you guys so much for being here. Crypto Queen with the super chat. Thank you so much, Crypto Queen. I appreciate that. Simi.Negup says, Danny, I love you, Danny. You're the man, Danny. Danny, I love you, Danny, right there. Danny, you're a legend. You have it all covered. Thank you so much, Crypto Queen. Rose, all my moderators. Shout out to all my bulls and all my bullets. And shout out to my moderators. Chuck Real, Greenstream. Yeah, Greenstream, Danny. And guess what, guys? The market is pumping. Damn right it is.
It always does when CKJ streams.
Woo! Tell him again, Danny. Tell him again. Oh, you guys are amazing. Styles G, Rose, XRP Forever. Miss J Kills. Chuck Real. Let's love the Chuck Real. J Kills. XRBP.
I was happy to see everyone tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. Danny even shaved, huh? Danny, you look like you're about 40 years old, Danny. You look.
Well, it's spring.
Huh?
It's spring. I'm shaved in the spring and summer.
You're a handsome man, Danny.
In the fall and winter, I'm scruffy like you. Hey, everyone, do me a favor. Follow my my daughter, Sammy, on Twitter. She needs to get her followers up.
Oh, follow her on Twitter. That's no problem.
She's a good kid. I'm really proud of this kid.
If you tweet her information right now, Danny, I'll retweet it, and then we'll blow her Twitter up. So you
absolutely,
you tweet it right now, I'll retweet it, and we'll blow it up.
And if you're not following me on Twitter, you know, you can't. You need to hit the old follow button.
Link in the description. That's for sure.
Because Samantha, that is the crypto princess.
XRP going to the moon.